here we have another one of those types of movies. This time starring John Cena and Eric Andre. Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Little Brother, the newest Netflix original movie that is directed by, of course, Matt Spicer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have you heard this story before? Oddball, crazy, over-the-top, silly individual who does chaotic things, basically infiltrates the life of somebody else who's struggling to deal with his marital life, and his brother, who is, of course, well off and pumped and excited or whatever, and chaos ensues. The oddball character causes a lot of issues for the main character, and they somehow reconcile at the end of the movie. And everybody seems to not be on this page where they see the problems and troubles that align with one another. So imagine, if you would, that John Cena, of course, is in this movie because he is the newest rock when it comes to movies like this. And imagine, if you will, you throw Eric Andre, who's known for doing crazy, over-the-top, silly, cringeworthy stuff, and you have yourself another version of this type of genre movie. So in this movie, Eric Andre plays a mental patient who escapes to try to help out his brother, and his brother is played by John Cena, and chaos ensues. Very gratuitous, insane stuff that you would see on Jackass. And this is a movie that's rated R. It's directed by the director of Ingrid Goes West, and if you know what I'm talking about, you've seen this movie before in a million different iterations. With that said, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because these types of movies are usually pretty fun and entertaining. They're not the most original type of movies, but they have a level of just kind of, playful humor. But the problem with a lot of these movies is whether the pairing, this turn, of course, Eric Andre and John Cena, will have great chemistry together, will work together, and does Eric Andre's over top, crazy, willing to do anything it takes to cringe laugh. And John Cena's kind of, he's a funny guy, but is he up to the task of what Eric Andre wants to deliver? And then you throw Christopher Meloni into this movie, who is a roided out buff guy with no hair, which is really interesting because he's like way older than John Cena. And then you throw Michelle Monaghan into the mix, and does that make it so for a successful film? Well, I am here to say that I definitely laughed in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I think Eric Andre is an interesting talent. He's very much in that Tim and Eric and Dave Chappelle realm, where they are willing to basically be strange and weird and just over the top and silly, and they may not, they off put a lot of people, similar like what Sacha Baron Cohen does with the Borat and Ali G characters. Eric Andre is an interesting individual, not always my cup of tea when it comes to his humor, but I think he's fun in the movie. I think he does what he's known for doing, which is being silly and shocking and willing to do things that other people aren't. You play off John Cena, who's trying to play not the heavy, but the kind of more normalized individual who gets kind of thrown into the mix. And then you have this weird plot device where the wife kind of accepts Eric Andre's character, and you have like little brothers and big brothers, the community group where somebody will help out somebody who's in need and stuff like that and become a friend and so on and so forth. And that's what this movie does. It's like, take that scenario of like John Cena as a high school kid, befriending a young kid and like becoming a big brother for this kid, and how does that affect, and how does it affect when he's trying, John Cena's character is trying to be a realtor, or at least trying to be a successful realtor, having to deal with underneath his brother, and then having his wife who just doesn't really see his side, and it becomes like a chaotic odd couple pairing, and just stuff doesn't make any sense. We have Sherry Cola in this movie, who's very much attracted to Eric Andre's character and kind of keeping secrets from John Cena's, character and stuff like that. It leads down a very predictable path, exactly how you're expecting it to be, because it's rated R. It's going to be extremely crude and extremely over top and strange and silly. And I can't hate it for that, to be fairly honest. I really was not enjoying myself in this movie, but once again, it's the type of movie you should be expecting, this kind of stuff, whether it be, Ricky Stenicki or whatever the hell that movie is. And, the stuff with, of course, with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. And it for a movie that's directed by the director of Ingrid Goes West, it's a very strange choice for a movie to go with. And so therefore, it is what it is. I can't say it's terrible. I can't say it's bad or good, or it just is that type of movie. It's a 6 or 6.5 out of 10. It's a movie that's going to make you chuckle if you're not willing to look past the flaws of the ridiculous nature of like these people become super enthralled by Eric Andre's character. And in the end, it is a movie that's going to do well on Netflix and then be completely forgotten a few months later when John Cena puts out another movie where he has an oddball pairing with someone. So that's Little Brother. That's really it. There's not really much to talk about with the story. Just it's a bunch of set pieces and gags and humor that leads to a very predictable ending. So that's my take on Little Brother. Yeah, so there you go. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much for watching my review. I do appreciate it. In the comments below, what is your favorite type of this film genre? You know, is it the stuff that John Cena has done recently in the comedic realm, or is it like what The Rock used to do with like Sean William Scott? I mean, let me know. That's how we kind of roll with this. So anyways, with that said, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.